Dabbleverse stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. N-I-C-K, mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air, cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6, Jones in for your fix, so that dabble politics mix. And when I fudge, you laugh punk, shut the fudge up and back the fudge up, while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what's in for the ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get fame up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabble is blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you do to ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck, where you at?
Welcome. Why are we so small? Welcome to a special Saturday edition of. Nope, that's not what I want.
Wednesday.
What did I just say? Saturday. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Sorry. Oh boy. Let's try this again. Welcome to a special Wednesday edition of Dabbling in Politics. I am OG Mumbling Nick. With me, as always, is Mr. Liquid Cryptid. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good job.
We had to I wanted to postpone it because I literally got back from 2 weeks driving across the country 2 hours before the show was going to start, and I was just like no. And then then Monday was just the last couple of days have just basically been taking care of all the stuff that I didn't take care of for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. Something you never think about. I mean, it kind of worked out that I did something Sunday night I've been wanting to do for days, so it like forced my hand to finally do it. So,
we're all we really had to talk about was the Trump and Musk breakup,
right?
Which petered out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's almost better we waited because all this kind of flows together into what's going on now, or I mean, it's all connected some way or another. So. We can start off with the Trump Elon thing, and it's not going to last long, but we'll get into the hot news. It's been happening with in LA and all that stuff.
Literally.
Yep. Hot. Yep. So I'll start off just with the Trump Elon thing. I'll say it sucked because I had some predictions, and then it's like some came true, but it's like, I can't take credit for it now. Hey, Mr. Written Asylum, good to see you, buddy. Um, so I'm not shocked that Elon and Trump got in a fight or whatever. It's two of the bigger egos. Even if you like Trump and Elon, I think people can admit they're narcissists or have big egos at the very least. I saw this day
Well, that's kind of
coming.
required for people at their level.
True, right, and that's I get that. That's all. I just think they're even little extra. And if the drug things with Musk are true, that I'm sure that adds to it. As a former drug addict myself, he looks like he's fucked up on drugs, but I know he also deals with Asperger's and some other shit. So I don't want to just assume.
Yeah, I heard something somewhere that said he uses ketamine.
Yes, I've heard the ketamine thing for a while. Like, I don't know if that's just on the independent liberal media. Like they've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, I've never actually looked it up because I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I think he's like admitted. I think that's the drug he admitted to. Like in the past. So I think that's the one they were. And then that report came out where he's got his little box of whatever 20 pills, ecstasy, fucking Adderall, ketamine, blah blah blah. Yeah, everyone loves drugs. I forget. Sorry.
Yeah, that's sort of the point.
Yeah. Well, what's ironic is not ironic, but like I actually believe that a lot of addicts, I know there's like a philosophy, there's almost like a gene, or you're compensating, you're self-medicating, if you will. Some people starts off because you have sort of pains that you're dealing with, physical or emotional. I mean, if he has social disorders, it could really start off as self-medicating. I can have sympathy for that, even though I don't like the guy. But anyway, I got off track. But so I wasn't shocked by it. My only fear was that the stupid fucking Democrats would take him back with open arms, which I knew they would. But I figured he would end up back with Trump. I think he's gone too far to like go back to the left.
No, I think they're gonna end up working together again.
Yeah, that's what right. That's what
I mean, they'll be doing something, not obviously not Doge, because Musk's whole plan was to have left Doge at this time anyway. And and I can see where Musk is upset because it's like I heard somebody say earlier that the problem with these big CEOs like this when they get into government is they're used to telling people, you do this, you do that, and if you don't, then get the fuck out.
Right.
And you can't do that in government. And that was also Trump's big problem with his first term, was he was doing like that. But now he's approaching things in a more political manner now, which honestly I think it's kind of hurting him. And obviously it hurt him with Musk. And the fight was over the big beautiful bill involved in that.
Yeah, I was hoping, and unfortunately, I think they made up too. I think they've come close to making up already.
Yeah, they pretty much have. Musk said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I went over the line," and Trump said, "Yeah, we can still work together. We're fine."
Well, here's the thing: the ball is clearly in Trump's court, because Trump, in my opinion, I believe that Elon did some illegal things, and of course, Trump knows about them, so he could Trump, if he played this right, could have been huge for him. Like he got flack for cutting child cancer research, and he could be like, "Oh, Elon did that." You know what I mean? The stuff that's unpopular, he could have Elon take the fall, but I think Elon maybe was smart enough to fucking realize that, and I better make up with this guy. He can, he's pretty much the most powerful man in the world, so he can fuck me pretty hard right here.
It was more than likely Elon spurred a little bit.
Yeah,
he had an episode.
He definitely had an episode.
And once he came down from his little spurg sesh, and I fucked up.
So we've had someone patiently waiting in the off stage. I will bring him on right now.
All right, Krishan, you made it.
How are we doing, buddy?
Hello, fellas. How you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I should know the name of your show by now, having Jake plug it every day. But before we even go, just plug your show real quick, sir.
Misfit Nation, the Misfit Nation podcast. We are moving over to Rumble. We've been sort of banned from YouTube. So we're on our backup channel right now at the Misfit Nation podcast. And yeah, Podbean, misfitnation.podbean.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, the whole nine.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I keep meaning to go over and check you out on Rumble. I just haven't yet.
So
It's all good. Today was actually the first time I checked your guys' show out, and I've been telling you the same thing, but I literally been so friggin' busy. But
Yeah.
I like your guys' vibe.
So that's sort of the theme here with the as I was explaining earlier on Jake Hudson's show. The dabbling in politics is mostly because, you know, we're all busy guys. You know, we're all older, families, work, everything. We don't have the time that we used to when we were younger to really, you know, look into stuff. So we both want to talk politics, but neither of us, you know, we can't get into the weeds because we just don't have the time.
I get it. I was just gonna say, funny enough, the same thing for my show. It's like, and sometimes it's like too much just getting into the weeds. I like getting into the weeds sometimes, but I just kind of mask mine with comedy and jokes and satire. So it's like sort of the same thing. We don't get extremely deep into politics. We just more do a show about it.
Yeah, that's sort of where we are. So I think you're going to fit in perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, I disagree with you guys on a few things, but we'll get into that.
Good. That's
good.
Point.
That's what we want.
There we go.
For sure. What were you going to say, Nick? Sorry.
No. I was just going to explain. Like, yeah, I think Liquid and I both, when we were younger, like, we're really, really into. Like, you know, I've gone to, you know, rallies. Whatever protests. I would look all sorts of into things, and I still look into politics, but I don't. Like I said, I don't have time to, you know, have two jobs, kids, wife. I can't like do all the shit I want to do with it anymore. So it's more like, all right, we watch what happens during the week. You know, we'll watch. You know, each of us watches our own little independent, you know, news things, and then we'll look into it. Like, we've literally had to correct each other live on the air before because we misremembered, you know, fucking shit, because there's so much to fucking take in these days. So
yeah, I mean, we're not perfect, and I hate shows that pretend to be perfect, because then they look really stupid when they're wrong. So it's like that, you don't want to get caught in that trap. And to give you a little background on me, I was in the music industry since I was like 15. I'm out of it now, but I was kind of dabbling, you know, no pun intended, in the sort of political, the political side of the. I was in hip hop, so you know that gets sort of political itself. So that's where kind of my roots as far as politics goes.
I will answer this real quick. I am actually hoping to go to one in Providence, Rhode Island, because the Boston one I know is going to be fucking crazy, and I'll get fucking stuck there. Providence is usually easier to navigate, so I may be going Saturday. But there was also another protest I was going to go to a month ago, and I decided not to go that morning. That's another thing with getting old. I get hyped leading up to it, and then when the morning comes, I'm like, do I want to fucking deal with this shit?
Yeah, I will not be attending the planned riots.
Right. So
you just think about driving to it, and you get tired.
Yeah, the whole thing, and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna walk in the sun for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I gotta come home.
You know what stops me from going to most things is thinking about finding parking.
Yeah.
I actually have one reasonably close. I have one of the No Kings things reasonably close, but knowing the area that I'm in, it's going to be a couple dozen people with signs that were walking around on the sidewalk for 2 hours between 10 and noon.
10 and noon.
Yeah, that's when I was. Yeah, dude. What's funny is like I've gone to some hardcore. I've thought of. I might bust. I got some pictures I might edit like from 2020 where I got fucked up in one of these things. It's just I don't want to show all of my face, even though John already did. But yeah, I could show him because I'm unrecognizable because my face like doubled in size and was all fucking swollen and shit. But anyway, I've also went to one where literally it was like me and one other dude. It was like where the fuck is everybody? It was like nobody showed up. So it goes both ways. I've had some crazy ones, and I've had some ones where literally the city beforehand stormed up the fucking windows because there was something online saying like all these people were going to come, and then nothing happened. So you never know. All right.
I'm glad I live in Florida where guns are all over the place and those things kind of don't just pop off.
I'd
I'd
like to live in some place like that. Actually, that's part of my trip around the United States is to find another place to live. And I found another place I like to live where stuff like that also would not pop off.
Where's that?
for similar reasons.
Oh, don't dox yourself if you don't want to. But
No, I don't. I said I found a spot. I will say I will be in the same time zone as Mumbling Nick.
Okay. I won't say anything. Is it the place you told me you were thinking of staying? The state, I mean.
I don't know what's.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Maybe I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
I don't remember.
I'll ask you off air. Yeah, okay. So I have a question for both of you gentlemen. I'm just gonna give what I think. We'll get to the LA shit. Fuck it. We'll just move along. I think Trump sent in the National Guard kind of prematurely because he partly wanted to escalate this. Don't shake your head. I'm not done yet.
I'm shaking my head too.
Well, it's amazing. We're not talking about the Epstein thing and his thing anymore. But it seems like whenever something, especially the Epstein shit comes up, he always does something fucking crazy the next fucking day. I can't remember what happened last time, but the same thing happened when those Epstein files fucking bombed. He did something the next fucking day. He just keeps this fucking news cycle going. But the first night of protests in LA, it was nothing. There was no reason to send in the National Guard. There was none. You guys go. Tell me why I'm wrong. Okay. Why am I wrong?
The reason why he sent in the National Guard is because the LAPD are not allowed to aid ICE. They're not allowed to help in any way to detain or arrest anybody just based on their legal immigration status. So,
I believe that
in order to support ICE, he had to send in the National Guard because the local PD are literally not allowed to.
And I think that was also based on the mayor's orders, right?
No, it's an actual law that was passed. Let's see, when was it? I forgot the exact law. I looked it up earlier today because I was like, I happened to have one of the usual big time talk radio scumbags, Hannity.
I'm sorry, Liquid.
Hannity was on when I happened to be listening to the radio in the car before I turned on my podcast, and he said the LA police are actually not even allowed to detain or help ICE like at all. And I looked it up, and like they're not.
Sorry, what I meant, because I got it mixed up in my head, was the police are supposed to help, though, de-escalate the riots. They're supposed to help, detain people who are rioting.
They can do that.
That's the thing the mayor is not giving any support in. Yeah.
Well, she wasn't, but I just saw a news report. I just saw on the news earlier. I think it was today. I want to say, was it today? Anyway, where they are now saying that they're cracking down on the riots and stuff like that. With the curfews and things, like they're actually doing something about it now.
Well, the thing too, though, Nick, I think, I don't know if it was the first night or the second night or whatever, but it did eventually become a riot. So that's also the reason why they were sent in, to sort of get that in order.
Yeah, I think so. It's like being someone that's been to these things. You guys don't have to believe me. I would tell you that they 99% start off peaceful. There's always a couple fucking morons like there is everywhere. Try and fucking stop these idiots. But then usually what happens is the police get a little fucking aggressive there. Start fucking spraying people, hitting people, all this shit. And then you end up taking out your frustration. Some people on property. No, I am against that 100%. I've never done it, but I understand
that's a weak excuse.
But I understand the frustration because you can't fight back against the police. You end up dead, or you end up in jail, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but going around destroying stuff—that's not a reasonable excuse. It's just people that want to go destroy stuff. They're probably not.
I also think there are
not a reason to. Yeah.
I also think
they're just using it as a lame excuse to say, "Oh, the cops, they shot me with a thing, so now I'm going to go break stuff and destroy everything because, that's what I was here to do anyway."
So
I think it's also, Nick, I think you're also kind of minimizing it a little bit to going like it's only a few people starting it. Like just by looking at videos of like all the footage of it, you're seeing mobs, hundreds of people running around throwing rocks at cop cars, at regular citizens, They're burning cars. Like it's a lot of people destroying storefronts, looting. Like it's not just a couple people doing it.
So I think the looting is fucking. A lot of it is people that have nothing to do with this shit. They just these fucking shithead criminals that just take advantage of what's going on in the area. I can't imagine someone that's actually fucking cares about this shit would bother fucking looting during one of these things.
Well, that's why they always end up devolving into a riot, is because all those people are there just waiting, mostly for the sun to go down, and then they start throwing bricks through windows.
Yeah. But then you got to kind of like look at what's at the heart of the protest. Like, what is the protest itself? Let's say it started as a normal protest. What are they protesting? Like the law? Like there's nothing illegal going on. They're detaining and deporting illegal immigrants.
Yeah, well, it started off with like we're going after all the hardened criminals, and now they're literally they're going to fucking elementary schools. They're going to elementary school graduations. You know, they're going to fucking people that are working on a job, which is weird because supposedly these people don't work. You know, but they're going to like meatpacking plants. People that are just trying to like live their lives, dude. Like
Well, maybe they should go be productive citizens and live their lives in their own country,
or get their citizenship.
Or
they make it a little hard to get the citizenship now because like they literally people trying to go through the right process get fucking picked up. It's a little discouraging.
There's no evidence of that.
Dude,
yeah, there's catch and release was the policy for a long time.
Literally just researched this before doing this because I knew this was going to come up. There is literally no evidence of it.
Dude, there are people that I'm talking about people going through the asylum part of it. Because you come here,
yeah, they're denied asylum, and they were automatically denied asylum and removed.
No, fighting for asylum is legal while you're here.
Right, and they were denied and removed.
Yeah, there
are people that don't show up to the process because they're literally getting people who are literally going through the process. Dude, I've seen these stories. You're telling me everyone's just making them up?
Yes,
a lot of them. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, just making them up. Gotcha.
Well, what elementary school was rated for illegal immigrants? Because I've never heard that story.
So number one, they went to an elementary school graduation and like parents like fled, like they led the kid, you know, because they were there with their kids. There was also another elementary school in California where they just wanted to check on this one. This one I'm a little less pissed about, but it's a little weird. They wanted to check on some kids. Their well-being because they came over here unattended and are now living with relatives who live here, but they were denied entrance into the school. But they're showing up at fucking elementary schools now.
Well, well, see, this is the thing though. You're making it sound like the way you brought it up. You were making it sound like they were going after elementary school kids. They're going after the parents that are here illegally.
Right. So what happens to the kids?
They go with them.
They go with them.
They've never lived there.
So
doesn't matter. It's better that they be with their family.
Well, thank God
than becoming wards of the state or orphans here.
Yeah. All right, we'll get back on track. I just wanted to bring this up real quick because I've seen like 5 or 10 people fucking say this. Like it's this tiny fucking area. It's not this big. Even like I have a friend Susanna who lives in fucking California. She was like LA. She was like walking around showing there's fucking nothing going on. It's like this 1 mile fucking. Whatever
you're minimizing though.
Yeah, you're once again
really. Well, they don't send in.
It doesn't matter.
It was way bigger when the Red Sox won the World Series. They didn't send in the fucking Marines, and someone died.
Yeah, but you're talking
no one's
about
died here, dude.
Somebody did. They did find a dead body.
Finally, probably a homeless dude. Yeah. Well, I'm not even saying, but dude, Trump fucking escalated this. It's funny, like no,
it was already escalated. Trump is de-escalating it.
Yeah, he's really de-escalating it by illegally sending in the Marines. Yeah,
it's gonna be chaos for a little bit.
It's illegal, dude.
Days. It's not even. It's not only is it not illegal, it's also not unprecedented. It's illegal if the Marines are sent into as a police force, but they're being sent in to guard federal facilities, which is legal. It was actually also done in the 1992 LA riots. They sent in the Marines to guard federal buildings as well. It's not even unprecedented.
That's why they have cards, because they know what to do. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing over there. Dude, this is
They're
what
just
kills
they're
me.
just guarding federal buildings, which is 100% illegal or illegal
They
legal.
don't even have, dude. I saw something that they were like whatever it was, a huge percentage don't even have fucking orders. They're just fucking sitting there. They don't have fucking. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, they're just sitting around
Yeah,
being
they're
there.
guarding.
They're-
That's all you're doing. It's security.
Donald Jung Un
Uh,
Trump just wants to fucking do all this
I believe
military
the
shit.
term is called a force in being. Basically,
Presence.
being there is a deterrent.
Presence is a deterrent.
I
I work in security, Nick.
Okay.
And everything he's saying is absolutely correct. Presence is a huge deterrent.
Well, then this thing should be over then.
And a
should be
huge
working.
part of if they leave, then it's just going to go back to chaos. Are you disagreeing that like if the National Guard leaves right now, do you think it's going to go back to chaos, or you think it's going to go to peace and everybody goes back to work?
I think it would get a lot peaceful if they weren't there.
So you're saying it's the National Guard that's escalating the already riot.
I think it's Trump intent. All right, let me just break this down. So, let's take. Not trying to get too far off topic, but sometimes like say like a BLM rally when those like Kyle Rittenhouse types militia guys all go in there, it escalates things because they're there. They're armed. They're saying fuck around and find out. We're yelling back at them. If they're not there, that shit doesn't happen.
Kyle Rittenhouse arguably happened because they didn't send in the National Guard. And that's why I think Trump did it so quick this time, because that was one of his biggest criticisms, even from guys like me, I'm a huge Trump supporter. That was one of my biggest criticisms, is that he didn't take care of the BLM protest at all, really. He let it happen as the president. He could have sent the National Guard into Minneapolis or LA, or where did it happen with Rittenhouse? I forget.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Kenosha.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think that was part of it, is Trump is trying to at least look at his past and correct his mistakes.
Well,
and I think a lot of politicians don't do that.
I'm trying to make the point, when you send in like armed people, like these things like escalate. Like this wasn't happening the first nights when they weren't there.
It was.
It was. Yeah.
It was not, dude.
And are they supposed to go in unarmed?
No, they're not supposed to fucking be there. How about ICE fucking stops? Like, dude, we don't even fucking need ICE. ICE has been around for like what, 20 years, 25 years. Like,
all right, now we're getting to the root of the matter. Your problem is with ICE.
I have a huge problem with ICE. 100%.
No, hold on. Your problem is that you actually agree with the protesters. It's not that you think it's illegal that they're doing. You agree with the protest.
I do agree with the protest, but
okay, so that's the heart of your argument.
Yes, and you also make excuses for the violence.
I didn't make any excuses for the violence. I literally said, dude, I have never set a fire. I've never fucking heard. I would never fucking do something like that.
Oh, I'm not saying you would, but
yeah, I'm not even saying
you tacitly agree with it and support it.
Let me ask you, what about fucking? I don't want to do whataboutism, so I'll come back to it. But so whatever happened to fucking states' rights with you guys? Because that was like like California don't fucking want, like, suppose there was a Democrat president, right? Suppose under Biden, he's like, we're gonna do this sweeping gun reform thing, and we're gonna take away everyone's assault rifle. Do you think would you fight that because it's against the Second Amendment?
Absolutely.
You're comparing. No. You're kind of comparing apples to oranges. Border security, crossing the border illegally is a federal crime. So that's why the feds go after them.
Right, but you also need
the crime.
You need the governor's
and also
permission.
the state is exercising its rights to not detain or do anything with these guys, with the illegals.
And that's why the feds come in.
Exactly.
Right, the federal government is trumping the state.
No, because the LAPD are still not detaining or at all helping or aiding ICE in any way, except for riot control.
Because they're an asylum. I live in an asylum state, like where you don't just pick people up because they're here undocumented.
Right, and that's the right of the state.
Right,
and
so ICE can go get
federal
matters. Go to a
state
that wants it.
Illegal immigration is a federal matter, so federal agencies are doing their job.
Well, that's why, like,
not getting any support from the local police.
That's why, like, for instance, like sanctuary cities, the federal government, I think the most they can do is like not fund them or give them any funding or something like that. They can withhold funding. Yeah, so there's like not like there's a certain line that they can't even cross with sanctuary cities, for instance. But once you're crossing the border again, you're breaking a federal law.
Okay, let me sorry. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think this helps the country? Like, do you think this is the big issue we should be doing right now?
Absolutely. It's
Why?
one of the main issues that voters voted on. You can't minimize that. You can't say that wasn't one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issue. Was
and as somebody
that's
who
why
is
so
a
many
fan of the working class, Nick, you should be very much against illegal immigration.
Well, I
even
think
for
the
their
people
well-being, because they're being used.
they are being used, but it's amazing that no one ever arrests the companies that fucking hire them. I mean, Trump hired undocumented immigrants, so
They should be arrested too. They
but
should.
they
Well,
never are.
they
But no
don't
one
get
ever.
arrested, they get
Then
fined.
let's go. ICE fucking. Let's go. Let's
Well,
round
they
them
get
up.
fined.
No, let's round them up. Because if they didn't do this, these
Well,
people wouldn't come here.
you're putting the cart before the horse.
No, they wouldn't come. That's why they come here.
No,
If
they come here because they were basically invited for many years,
Yeah, and then
And-
now they're fucked.
and now they're screwed because they were basically promised something that we couldn't keep. But it wasn't us keeping it; it was really the Democrat Party and a lot of the Republicans. I'm not going to count out the Republicans too.
Oh yeah, they've been terrible at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my theory's always been, and Sean, just so you know, like I hate the Democrats. Liquid's not big on the Republicans. We're I don't know how you want to call us, but like I don't know. I'm more, if you had to put, I'm more like a economic populist, but I'm obviously more liberal. But yeah, I fucking hate both those parties. So I agree with you. They're fucking terrible.
I mean, I think saying like you're like saying abolish ICE, right?
Yeah, I fuck
That's
ICE.
That's a pretty radical take, to be honest.
They haven't existed that long, man. We got along fine without them. You know, like I don't want any government agency. They don't show their faces. They don't show fucking badges. Their fucking vehicles are unmarked. They don't have to fucking say who they are. They take people to fucking undisclosed places. There's no due process. I mean, that's not American, man. That's
due
fucking
process.
There is
that's
due
fascist.
process.
Well,
Is
let
there?
me
How do we
me-
know?
all right, Nick, I was actually watching one of your streams. Can I bring this up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you were talking about I can't remember the kid's name, but the kid that got arrested, and it turned out they were actually trying to arrest his father.
Oh, Marcelo Gomez.
Marcelo.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So, like when you actually look at the case of it, his father is illegal. He's been here illegally for 10 years. And then he also had a history of like reckless driving.
So,
So-
you can keep going, but I'll address that in a minute. Yeah.
Well, my point is that they had like probable cause even to go after him, to detain him as a criminal. And also he's being held right now, detained. He's not like getting shipped back immediately. He's being held so that he can have due process. Like every media company will tell you that right now. Like he's literally being held for his hearing.
Oh, he's home now. But
Okay, yeah, sorry, I wasn't updated.
yeah, they've let him out on bond the end of last week. But yeah, I know. Yeah.
My overall point is I don't even think that's something that we need to do. Like in
What?
reality, if you're here illegally, you came here illegally, especially if you came over the border, which you violated a federal crime. Like that's enough right there
Exactly.
by law.
Oh, and about 1,200 businesses have been fined about $1 million a piece since January 20th, 2025 for hiring illegals.
Ooh, a fine. Throw him in jail.
A stiff fine.
Throw him in jail. So they were here legally at some point because he had I don't remember the dad, but Marcelo did have a student visa that his
Yes.
parents let expire, whatever the fuck they did that they shouldn't have done. I'm not saying the speeding stuff, I'm not going to say he didn't do it, but right now I can tell you his lawyer says he's denying it, and she has not been shown any proof of that. Even if they did, okay, it's speed. If he's I'll even tell you this. I don't know if you got to this in my video I did on that, but that same town, Milford, about 13 years ago, 12 years ago, there was an undocumented immigrant who was driving drunk, and he ran over a young guy in his 20s on a motorcycle. Didn't even realize it and kept dragging the guy. People were like trying to get him to stop. It was awful. He ended up dying. I work with two of that guy's friends. That guy's mother, Trump takes all. She's like a big Trump. Her whole thing is like undocumented immigrants. So Trump like exploits that whole fucking thing. But that same town had undocumented immigrant who shouldn't have been here because he had like 1 million drunk driving charges. And I'll tell you, yeah, if someone's fucking got 1 million drunk driving charges or all this shit and they're here illegally, get them the fuck out. Get them in jail. I'm 100% in favor of that. I don't want fucking actual violent fucking criminals here. But if their only crime is the fucking visa expired, I think they should be fucking given a chance to make it right. I don't think they should be locked up in cages and thrown on the floor and fucking.
He was here for 10 years.
Yeah, if you let your visa expire, there's, when you get a visa for any reason, it explicitly tells you exactly the conditions for having that visa. And if just saying violating a visa or having it expired isn't a big deal, it is, because you agreed to those conditions.
Yeah, to be here. And let's also, like, you just use some logic. Why do you think they let their kids' visa expire? Do you think it's because their visa expired and they're like illegal, they didn't want to get caught?
Well, the specific visa that the kid had was it was a student visa, yeah, but under that visa, they're not allowed to go to like a public school. You have to go to a private school. You cannot use any sort of public what is
like
it, resources. Yeah, you can't use any public resources or whatever under that visa. So as soon as he went to a private school or a public school, then his visa is void and out.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, it's not that kid's fault.
It's not. I'm not blaming the kid. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Which is the same thing, like, of where it's like they're going into elementary schools and finding illegal parents there or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying, like, it's not the kid's fault. I'm not blaming the kids. It's the parents that are just not, like, my father is an immigrant. He moved here legally. He got his citizenship. Like, I'm not arguing against immigration.
No.
Like, I wouldn't be here if it didn't exist. So I'm just saying that you got to do it the right way. It's the laws of the land.
And the right way sucks, and it's a terrible system that we have here, but it's the system we got, and you got to follow it.
Do you really think they're not taking legal immigrants?
They're not.
No.
And we know this how? Because there's no due process. We don't know these fucking people.
There's literally no credible evidence to suggest it.
You keep saying there's no due process, but you're not making an argument of like why there's not. We told you that there's like literally evidence that there is a due process.
We already have a famous case where they sent some guy to fucking Venezuela that shouldn't have been sent there, and we didn't get him.
Yeah, because he was
a
gang member.
Because he was wanted here for human trafficking. So
they actually brought him back because he's wanted for human trafficking. Actually, after they sent him, they were like, "Wait a minute, we uncovered this, so let's bring him back." So he's back in America.
Yeah, in jail in Tennessee, awaiting the trial for human trafficking. He's going to get about 20 years per person trafficked, and he trafficked about 1,000 people over like 10 years. So he's never going to get out of jail.
You see how like
he just traded one jail. He just traded El Salvador jail for an American jail.
But he's back in America.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You see how, like, even from my side or our side, I don't want to, say we're on the same side, Liquid, but from my side, I could even minimize things too. I could just go, hey, well, he's back in America. He got what he wanted.
Yeah. And well, if that's all true, then that's fine too. Obviously, that's fine. But I don't even know what the fuck you guys. We talking about the same guy?
That's why he had a no deportation order, is because he was because they were getting ready to try him here.
So why was there a total
Abrego Garcia or something like that? I think his name was. Yeah.
So why was there a total split on information? How there was nothing on the guy?
I looked it up and I found it pretty easily.
Yeah,
I
well,
honestly, I didn't really care about it until, but I saw what we were going to be talking about. So I went through and did a bunch of research on everything.
actually, yeah, I think we just did the whole.
To get caught up on what's going on.
I remember what was funny about that one is we were both shitting on each other's side because we could clearly see that those tattoos were a key. They weren't actually tattoos. And then
oh yeah, that
yeah,
one.
the whole fucking thing. Yeah, I
I
was
remember
like,
that, Krishan, when they put the MS-13 on his
MS-13.
knuckles above it to show what
Yeah.
the icons meant, and so many people on X went like, I think that might be photoshopped.
Yeah, I told you one of the guys I watched
They
all the
actually
time was-
believe that. Yeah.
I was
That
like,
he
oh
actually
my
had that.
God.
Even
Yeah.
Trump did.
It was. I still can't believe. Yeah, that still blows my mind.
Oh well, no. You know what they were talking about too was because I saw like a former MS-13 gang member come out and talk about this. He could be lying. Who knows? But and I know this from other gangs is that they have like coded tattoos.
Yeah.
Where it's not going to say MS fucking 13 on you because probably the real hard gang members who don't give a fuck probably will. But the other ones that try to blend in, like a guy who's like, trying to run a barber shop, but he's still an MS-13 gang member, will get a coded tattoo so that the gang members know that you're a part of it when they see that little symbol or whatever. But regular people or the law can't tell what it is, but eventually they figure it out.
They know they know all the tattoos or whatever. But I just once again I want to ask, what do you consider to be due process? And this is open to the floor.
Good question.
Well, first, none of this fucking hiding who you're law enforcement. You fucking identify yourself. You know what I mean? Not hiding your fucking.
They do. They have badges on. And they say they're ICE. So,
dude, no.
That's not that has nothing to do with due process. But
dude,
continue.
I even remember fucking during the whole Oregon shit in 2020, they were fucking unmarked vehicles, no fucking identification on these fucking guys, just picking up fucking people off the street. Not even immigrants, fucking protesters.
No, I disagree with all of that as well, but that's not part of due process.
There's video of it, dude. They literally they didn't say where they were fucking taking anybody. All right, so we'll move on. But
well,
yeah,
no, I asked a question. What do you think is due process?
No, that's fair. Yeah. So fucking whatever. If you think that they're fucking here, fucking illegal, you think they're fucking committing crimes, whatever the fuck it is, you fucking pick them up, you book them. You whatever, if they're not a flight risk, you fucking release them. There's a fucking trial, just like everyone else. Not pick you up off the undisclosed
due process
location,
does not mean a trial.
off the fucking Guantanamo Bay, off the fucking Venezuela, where you're not even.
And I think
from.
That's where a lot of people like who say, but the whole due process thing is they don't understand. Due process is not a trial. It is not a jury trial.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean due process. It means the process due. And that process is, do you have your papers? And a judge.
Oh, Mr. Hitler, do you have your papers? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
well, that's what I'm saying. This is where we're.
That's a really loose comparison to say that Hitler. Come on.
I know. It's can you prove you're a citizen? That's
and now the vote you have to. I mean, I'm not trying to get off topic, but now he's trying to make it so fucking married women can't even fucking vote. You need your fucking original birth certificate. It's like
that is completely untrue.
And everything's untrue. Okay.
No, they can absolutely be fine. You don't need your birth certificate. All you need is a state ID.
That has to match.
It literally says
in
the bill that a state ID, like a driver's license,
as long as it matches your name on the birth certificate, which it won't if you're married.
You don't need
the
birth certificate. You don't need a birth certificate. It literally says a birth certificate is one of the options. The options are a state issued ID, real ID is preferred, a birth certificate, a passport. Those are the options. You don't need all of them. Any one of them will work. It literally says in the bill that a state ID is perfectly fine to register to vote.
It's like options.
Yeah.
You pick
Dude,
one.
they're literally.
It does not need to match your it does not need to match your birth certificate.
You vote, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go, do you just show your ID or do you have to like show latest pay stub?
No, I show my ID, but this is like a new bill. This isn't something.
What's the bill?
The fucking whatever the hell they call it, where he's trying to get the fucking to vote, your fucking name has to match your fucking name on your birth certificate.
It does not have to match your name on the birth
All right,
certificate.
I'm gonna look it up,
to
dude.
match
You
your
two
name on
fucking
your
talk.
ID.
Okay.
Yeah, look that up because I never heard of this either.
It was a couple of months ago, but it was the votes. Was it the voting security bill?
Well, by the way, anytime I say I've never heard of this, I'm not being like facetious.
Oh,
Like,
No, dude, we get
no,
there's
no,
so
no.
much, dude. There's
Yeah.
so much. Yeah,
You're on the
100%,
appropriate
right.
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not heard of this.
No, I know some people like do use that as like being an asshole. I've never heard of that. Like,
No. This,
Argument.
as I said before at the beginning, this is the show that you want to
Cool.
be on. If to say, oh, I never heard of that.
All right. While I'm asking, let me. I mean, sorry. While I'm looking, let me ask the question. What did you guys think of, if you haven't heard, Trump's statement about the protests for this Saturday, Flag Day? That he didn't say illegal protests. He didn't say violent protests. He said protesters will be met with great force or something like that.
Yeah, he said he's going to bring great force. He also said he's going to bring a bill to, to make it so that you spend a year in jail for burning the flag. And guess what? That's not going to happen either.
No, we've actually, you and I have talked about that because he's been saying that for years. So that's something.
It's a huge. It's been a right wing talking, like a far right wing talking point that I can remember since forever. He's like, oh, you can't desecrate the flag, and it's like, well, no, the Supreme Court already ruled that is free speech.
Right.
I don't like it, but that doesn't matter. That's what free speech is all about. It's the right for people to do things and say things that you don't like.
Well, that's the thing, is that's where I think a lot of even right wingers miss, is like free speech is that, you can go burn a flag, but I can call you an asshole piece of shit for doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's free speech.
Let's see.
So what I'm reading is
SAVE Act, right?
Yeah, law experts are like, the thing I'm reading is people are making the point for both sides. So I'll just skip ahead. Among the most notable changes outlined in the bill is the requirement to prove U.S. citizenship before registering to vote. Acceptable documents will include a birth certificate, U.S. passport, naturalization paperwork, and certain documents of the real ID that indicate citizenship. But for as many as
like a driver's license.
Right.
But for as many as 69 million American women who have taken on their spouse's name, their birth certificates no longer match the names they use today, according to an analysis. Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, more than half of all Americans do not have a passport. Right, but you have to prove citizenship. If you're like, hey, my name's Joni Smith.
Especially your real ID. If you have a real ID, which you should, because that law was passed in 2005. You've had 20 years to get your real ID, so you should have that. And that is an acceptable form of identification for it.
Nick, do you think it's okay for a country to require proof of citizenship before voting?
Dude, like no one commits voter fraud in this fucking country. It's like 0.0000 fucking 2% or whatever the fuck it is. It's like nothing.
Have you seen the past two elections?
Oh, dude, don't even tell me. Yeah, the one Trump won one and lost the other. I mean,
no, I'm not even saying that like on that level. I'm just saying voter fraud is very apparent.
Where?
Did you watch 2000 Mules?
You see, dude, get off my show. I'm joking, but that fucking dude, that fucking guy is the biggest con man. That thing was not true. He was watching.
He had all kinds of evidence. He had video evidence. He had audio evidence. Literally, people admitting that there were ballot harvesting.
Do you know what he went to prison for?
Who?
The fucking dude that made the movie. The
Dinesh,
D'Souza. Yeah.
What?
For fraud, election, donation, whatever, giving illegal money to fucking campaigns or whatever. He's involved. He's fucking fraud himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I watched 2,000 Mules, and while I don't think that he was completely wrong, because there was a lot of issues with ballot harvesting, I do not trust Dinesh D'Souza.
What happened? Yeah, like Trump fucked up
Look,
because he told
again, I'm not saying that somebody like the decision was made on fraud, but you can't pretend that there isn't voter fraud in this country. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's almost none. I'm not saying there's none, but there's who the fuck would risk 5 years in prison to fucking illegally
Well,
vote?
then,
I mean, there's
Well, then
people
what does it
risking
matter
literally
if-
felony charges for rioting for no reason.
then what does it matter requiring ID if there's no fraud anyway?
Dude, I'm with you. There wasn't. My state didn't have ID when I first started voting.
Maybe because we require ID, that's why the fraud is so low.
So I think if that's the case, then everyone should be given free fucking voter ID because you're making people pay to fucking vote, which is not legal. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, I can compromise, but everyone, you register, you turn it. I don't even get fucking. You're 18. Boom, there's your voter ID. Whatever.
Finally, somebody who's who makes some sense. I've been saying that this should be the argument from the left the entire time. They're saying they're trying to say that getting an ID is racist.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Against black people because they can't get IDs, and just like that's a really fucking racist thing to say.
No, it is.
But the reality is that an ID costs money,
right?
And that's against the law to require something that costs money to vote. So it's called a poll tax.
Yeah. So we can agree, and I.
But let's also be honest. It's not like super expensive. Like
no, and you can get it for free if you're low income.
Yeah,
but it's still
what's the
requiring
argument?
money. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that's the argument. That's the argument that the left should be having, not
okay,
the most racist shit that you could possibly think of, that black people can't get IDs.
Dude, I told you the Democrats, number one, they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to argue. They always go for race or sex or whatever, dude. It drives me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm complimenting Nick on actually having a reasonably good argument.
They should definitely go the financial, and I think I know why they said what they said, but yeah, it's racist. But it's, I remember a story that was highlighted. There was this lady who was like 100 years old. And so back when she was born in the South, in her, she wasn't born in a hospital. She was born, like in a fucking house with no indoor plumbing. I don't even know if she had a fucking birth certificate. She'd voted like in every election, and then she couldn't vote because they had a voter ID. So there are, and I'm sure there's less and less of these people now. But
if she's already 100,
right? But I mean, back in the early 1900s, there's a lot of there were people that probably weren't born in the hospital down south, in the poorer rural areas, So yeah, it was people like that, but then they made it like a race thing. So yeah, I say just fucking give everyone a free fucking voter ID and we're good.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. We already do that with Social Security. With your Social Security card, your voter ID should be attached to your Social Security card.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're low income and you can get a voter ID or you can get a state ID for free, then haven't we already fixed the problem? Like what's the argument the Democrats would have there?
Well, the idea is that is explicitly against what amendment was it? The 19th Amendment, something like that. I forget. It specifically goes against. I forget the exact amendment. I could look it up, but it doesn't matter. It goes against one of the amendments where basically after slavery was in and the slaves were released, a lot of states decided that they had to make a bunch of conditions in order to be able to vote, basically to keep black people from voting. And so an amendment went in that stated that you can't have any kind of qualifications like a test, or you can't charge money. You can't charge money for the ability to vote, which driver's license you have to pay for, so that basically comes under that. It's unconstitutional.
Yeah, but you can also get state IDs,
right, for free.
Yeah,
but they also cost like $12 if you don't are low income. That's the problem. Anything you have to pay for in order to vote, anything you have to pay for in order to vote is considered a poll tax and is unconstitutional.
Yeah, but if you have a full-time job and you can't pay $12 for a state ID, then your problem is money management. It's not about. You're telling me you can't pay $12 for what is it, a year, or is it one
The
time?
ability to pay is not the point. The having to pay is the point.
Right.
The how? Say it again. Sorry.
The ability to pay is not the point. It's having to pay that is the problem.
No, you're not paying to vote though. You're paying for an ID.
But if you have to use that ID that you paid for in order to vote, that's unconstitutional because you have to pay for that ID. That's why I agree with Nick in saying that, when you turn 18, you get your voter ID along with your social security card, and it's free. It's
okay, but then let's get back to the options. You don't have to use the state ID. Birth certificate is free, right?
I think you have to show picture ID in most places.
Birth certificate. Yeah, it's got to be a picture ID.
Like it says it in the qualifications, right?
That was to prove your citizenship in the new bill. It's like a secondary. It's not just your birth certificate. It's, you'd have your state ID or license plus the birth certificate to show.
No, the birth certificate is an option.
Fair enough. I'm actually not against like free state IDs, so I'm not gonna
me either.
argue this ferociously.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, I guess it's not getting through. The issue isn't the ability to pay. The issue is having to pay for that and using that as a means of identification for voting purposes because it is unconstitutional.
It's one of those things that it's almost like having to give up your freedoms for safety. You know what I mean? You can't have both. Can I just finish the thought real quick?
Yeah.
It's just that the whole thing is that we have that to prevent voter fraud, right? So it's almost like, well, to prevent voter fraud, we're gonna have to kind of give up that freedom a little bit because we can't just go out and vote. We do have to have an ID and have all kinds of requirements. So that's where I'm coming from.
I understand what you're coming from. It's just that maybe we need to make an amendment to amend that amendment. But in the meantime, it is.
Wait, what do you mean though about that? Just so I understand you a little clearer.
Hold on, let me.
I'll get rid of that amendment. That
I think he means amend the poll tax.
I got you.
Yeah. So also
for constitutional amendment,
to play devil's advocate here, I also think the free voter ID gets rid of states trying to do, let's be honest. Both the Democrats and the Republicans, they claim they're for free and fair elections, and neither one are. And I'm not saying neither one's committing voter fraud, but they like to, put their thumb on the scale and make it harder for certain groups to vote and make it easier for others, depending who's going to vote for them.
They like some wiggle room.
Yeah, I know I think it's Tennessee. I could be wrong, but I know there's at least one state, like a red state, where to vote they will accept your NRA card identification, but will not accept a college ID. And because wherever they are, the college kids at the time are more likely to vote, Democrat, blah, blah. So, and I'm sure there are blue states that do the fucking opposite. You know what I mean? They won't take your NRA card, but they'll take your fucking college. So I think just giving a free standard voter ID that every state has to fucking take just gets rid of all that fucking gerrymandering and monkey business fucking bullshit that these political parties try to fucking pull. So, and if you guys, I don't really think there's a lot of voter fraud, but if you guys think there is, well, this is a nice compromise. Then fine. If everyone gets the free ID, then we're good.
I think it's just naive to think there's not, and that we don't need protections from voter fraud.
I'm not saying there's none, but they've done research on this, and there's it's so not because like I said, you have to be fucking insane to be willing to spend 5 years in prison to give your candidate an extra vote. You know what I mean? That's not going to matter because nobody's ever lost by one fucking vote. It's
well, no,
yeah, but people have done it, so it's plausible that you're just saying that it's unbelievable that more people will do it.
I mean, I remember there's a Trump supporter lady who did it because she believed that the Democrats were cheating, so she felt she had to. And that poor fucking lady, you know what I mean, spent 5 years in jail. It's fucking stupid.
Fuck her. She committed voter fraud. I don't care if she's a Trump supporter. She can go to jail.
It's the 24th Amendment, by the way, is the one I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Fair enough, written asylum. Maybe because I'm 46 and have a wife and 3 kids, I don't know, that I would never do something like voter fraud. I mean, I live in a blue state. I fucking know who's going to win the election every I get more excited for primaries. That's the only time my vote fucking matters. Fucking the general election, it doesn't fucking
right.
matter.
Yeah, this whole all or nothing thing has got to go.
I agree with you. Yeah,
There we go.
I think we got to get back to local politics.
Yeah.
I
At
know
the very
that's
least,
a milk toast based take, but go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was going to say,
I was just saying, as regards to the electoral college, how all the states have all gone to like this all or nothing, where if you get 51% of the votes, you get all the electoral college votes. And I remember growing up, I think only like 1 or 2 states had that. Now, like everybody's got it.
Yeah,
but electoral college votes can go against the popular vote.
Oh yeah, they can now. That's mostly because of because all the states are all or nothing. So basically, if you get 51% of the votes, you get all the electoral votes. Where it used to be, if you get like 51% of the votes, you get 51% of the electoral votes.
Yeah, like
it's,
well,
it's a big math thing.
Well, look what's saying. Suppose a state has like 30 electoral votes. Well, if you win 60%, then okay, you get whatever 60% of the you get 18 of those, and the other guy gets 12 or whatever the fuck it is, instead of getting all 30. So,
which is what causes this whole thing about being able to win an election just with the electoral votes and not the popular vote. Yeah. But anyway, that's off the topic.
We'll talk about a few more.
I guess it is sort of on the topic.
I mean, but that's not why. Like, for instance, we're not a full-on democracy in America.
No,
that's why
republic.
We don't base it on just the popular vote or the popular vote at all.
No, I just think it sucks for both sides. If you live in an all red state and you're blue, or if you live in an all blue state and you're red, I'm sure it just sucks,
it's like your vote just basically doesn't count. Well, I mean, it's the same way both ways, right? If you're blue in a blue state, then your vote basically doesn't count either.
Right. Yeah, no, right. Like the one thing I have is I've never voted. I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for fucking Biden. I do protest votes because I'm not voting for these corporate fucks. And I know the Democrats going to win my state no matter what anyway. So I'll fucking, I vote third party. I've done write-ins, and not that it does anything, but makes me feel a little better inside.
At least you feel like you kind of did something.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, you can vote blue in a red state and lose, but you'll still be safe at the end of the day, at least. Blue states, you're getting mugged on the freaking sidewalk in front of your house.
This is something I don't get. Where liberals are snowflakes.
I should say
pussies, but also violent.
Blue cities, yeah. Blue cities, yes. Having just traveled all the way across the United States and back, I stayed in one blue city, St. Louis, and that was the first and last big city that I stayed in. I always went to the small towns because I felt like I was going to get mugged just going out for a cigarette.
Yeah, liberal cities, like I think every of the top 10 highest murder rates in the country, they're all liberal run cities.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
Just like 97 of the top 100 poorest counties are red.
They're still safer.
Low crime, by the way.
Yeah, lower crime. So how does that mean like poverty then doesn't really create crime then, right?
It doesn't, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say it did.
Okay.
That's
usually a liberal.
I've literally lived in a trailer park with, pretty much all white. There's a couple of people of color there. And we left keys in the car and left our doors open. There was like generally no crime.
Yeah, you'll look
out there for years.
Right?
Yeah, I think crime is it's more in the fucking city and obviously the
it is harder to commit crimes in a small community like that because if anything gets stolen, we all know who it was.
Yeah, exactly. And we go and deal with that ourselves.
Like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's like, yeah, he's probably on the crack pipe again. Let's go over there and grab our stuff.
I'm saying, damn it, that Jake Hudson stole from us again. Oh shit. All right. Oh fuck, I had a question. Or a topic. What was I gonna say?
Oh, you did say something I wanted to address real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
You were
Yeah.
saying that we say that liberals are snowflakes, yet you're violent. I think it's not necessarily that it's like liberals going out and committing crimes. It's that they have policies that enable criminals, like no cash bail, that kind of thing. You guys don't have like a realistic take on how to solve the crime problem.
I can say, I mean, Trump pretty much he let every January 6er out, so I don't think he's that tough on crime anymore.
Well, that's a whataboutism. We can
No.
get into that. We can get into that after, but like explain why liberals don't have a realistic policy on crime. You used to.
I don't know. Crime doesn't really. It's not one of my top issues.
That's kind of the whole topic of the night: rioting.
Yeah, I'm not the
ICE.
one that. I'm not the one that wants them there. I'm not the one that wants the Marines there or the fuckface National Guard there.
Yeah, but they're not the criminals.
Do we know? I don't. Oh, sorry, they're not. ICE. I don't know about ICE. I have a feeling there's some Proud Boys in fucking ICE. Maybe even some January 6 rioters in ICE.
It's all conjecture and speculation.
Right, but I can't know because we can't know who they are. So for some fucking reason. So
I mean, really, all like government employees, it's all public knowledge. You can go find that out yourself. Just file a FOIA request.
yeah, there was actually a guy on. I actually didn't see him doing it. I thought he was. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was some guy on X, and I thought he was doxing like ICE raid locations, but then I heard he was doxing the ICE members.
Oh yeah. What was his name?
Like LA something, I think, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I
LA
can't-
Scanner.
that-
LA
okay,
Scanner.
heard
Yeah,
that
he and apparently he's like a felon. And
yeah, they doxed his ass, and so he
and they
got
doxed his ass. Yeah, and he scrubbed himself from the internet.
So
But he was literally doxing, ICE agents, and people were going to their houses and threatening them.
Yeah, I misread it at first. I swear unless someone fucked up, the first thing I read is he was doxed. He was like, I thought he was giving ICE raid locations ahead of time to warn people, which I wouldn't give a fuck about. But as much as I hate these fucking ICE cocksuckers, I don't really want their fucking families attacked and shit like that.
So I wonder why they want to wear masks.
Well, dude, if you identify
It seems
yourself as a
odd.
cop, it wouldn't really fucking happen.
What's your hatred though? Like, I don't understand your hatred for them.
He doesn't like cops or billionaires, just
Ah.
as a general rule,
Progressive.
for no particular reason than that cops are billionaires.
Are you a Bernie Sanders guy?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
How is it that I could guess these
He
things?
picked up on you right away, Nick. That was great.
Hey, I dabble in politics a little too much. You know what I mean?
Dude, I didn't even know you had the Bernie. I mean, why would I not think that you had the Bernie Sanders books?
Yeah. Well, actually, my wife bought the books. I didn't buy
Wouldn't
any.
use it as a
Yeah,
doorstop.
Yeah,
we got the
likely
Bernie
story.
shit. We do, man. I got a dude.
You are
I'm a
making
dude. I got
excuses again.
a Bernie baseball card on my fucking fridge. Bernie baseball card magnet, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
So
There's a
you're
Bernie baseball card? Anyway,
like a communist. You believe in communism,
No, I do not.
socialism.
Democratic socialism, if you want to call it that, little mixture.
What is that?
Um,
What's the difference too between that and communism?
well, I mean, communism is the government runs, owns the means of production. I still believe in private businesses and all that. But I also think that certain things should not be for profit, like for profit healthcare. I think everyone should have fucking healthcare, education, all that shit. And this safety, like, I don't think anyone should like not have a home. I don't think anyone should go fucking hungry. you know, if you work hard and everything, you get all the extras, but I think everyone should at least have the basics needed to live.
I mean, that's not necessarily like socialism, though. I think everybody, like, I don't think like me and Liquid think people should go starving. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. So that, like, I get, like, you started off kind of answering it where you were saying like the private business, you believe in private business and stuff like that. But what I noticed the difference between socialism and communism is that socialism is more of like, you don't believe in like necessarily taking over somebody's business, but you believe in forcing them in some way, whether it be like kind of pushing them. And I think it's a social thing. It's like pushing them in a social direction. And if they don't go in that direction, you're gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? Penalize them in some kind of way.
Can you give an example?
Like the social score that they had for the companies. I can't remember what it's called at this point, but where basically where DEI kind of came from. Yeah.
But that was more of that wasn't really I don't think that wasn't a government thing though. That was a company that was doing that. But I know what you're talking about.
But what I'm trying to say is it comes from the socialist kind of viewpoint of like, we're gonna kind of push companies in the direction of like, you know, being about Pride Month and pushing certain agendas. And
so
hiring people based on, you know, race instead of like merit.
No, I'm all for merit. I don't think anyone does. I mean, not trying to pick on Trump, but he's not really hiring people for the right cabinet positions that know what the fuck they're doing.
Do you believe in redistribution of wealth?
So in a perfect world, I think people should be paid a fucking living wage, but
Just say yes.
No, I'm torn on it, dude, because like I really don't. I just think, hey,
think it out. I'm not.
Yeah. All right. Basically, if they paid people what they should be paid, yeah, I don't believe in just taking someone's money and handing it to somebody else. No.
Okay.
I like. All right. So Bernie proposed a.
Do you believe? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Bernie had a proposal once where, in order to get a government contract, the CEO can't make more than a certain amount more than the average worker, type of thing, to try and incentivize them to, you know, pay the workers more and shit like that. I would rather do things that way. Like I don't. What sucks is I don't have the perfect answer. I will fully admit to, you know, to this whole thing. I guess sure. If you want to pin me down, do I think billionaires should give back more? 100%. You know.
By the way, that Bernie Sanders idea is actually straight up communism. It's not even like a like workaround.
Well, okay, dude. But this is what kills me. It's like then like I remember when there was price gouging going on during the whatever the recession, and like, hey, let's make, you know, businesses not stop doing it under Biden. They're like, oh, communism. And then when Trump was elected, Trump said he was going to do it, and they're all for it. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways. If you think companies should be able to charge whatever the fuck they want and be able to pay workers as fucking little as they want, then I mean, you got to own that. You know, that's
what I believe.
All right,
I believe people should be pretty much as free as they want to run their companies. Now, I do believe in like labor laws and stuff because I think those are important. However, if a company can find a legal citizen that'll agree to, you know, I don't know, work 60 hours a week and they want to do that, I think they should be allowed.
Yeah, that's the thing, Nick. I mean, we're not required to work at specific places for specific amounts of money. If a place is too expensive, people don't go there to buy their stuff. If they pay their employees too little, then people don't go to work there. It's pretty simple.
That's not true.
That is 100% true.
I'll explain something that I learned at a sort of young age, is that I used to be the type, like, I used to be a liberal. And when I was at work, I would argue for the people. And I would go, we need this and we need that. and then I would get in trouble because I'm talking, and then I would look around and nobody would back me up. So I started realizing like it's better to just argue for yourself and get yourself in a better position. And if they want to get in a better position, they could argue for themselves. It's more about individualism. You get what I'm saying? I don't need a group of people like a union behind me arguing for me to get better pay at my job. I do that myself. So I think more people should just be like that. Be like me. Be like Krishan.
Yes.
I work for I can't say a very famous billionaire, and if I've seen people demand more money that are good workers, and they're just gone. They don't care. Maybe smaller companies do. I don't know, but what I was gonna say is, besides the
you also, I'm sorry. Let me just add this, Nick, and I promise I'll let you finish.
Yep,
you also have to have the merit to back it up.
No, I know.
You can't just yeah. So that's the only thing I wanted to add. Go ahead.
Well, then you have to work like a maniac, I guess. I feel I work. I'm not even saying me because I've never done that shit. But anyway, I was gonna say, besides the federal government, the number one employer, well, it was Walmart. I don't know if Amazon overtook, but we'll just say Walmart. And yet the number one recipients for food stamps and welfare are Walmart employees. So the number one employer doesn't pay their fucking workers a living wage, and people still work there and people still shop there because they have no choice.
Yeah, but that's from a more of a group standpoint again. Now, if you were to go into the individuals, I'm sure there's people who are like, there's certain managers that are getting paid more than other managers. And there's certain employees that are getting paid more than other employees. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of, and then also the thing about like, well, I have to work like a maniac. Maybe you do, because there might be somebody at Walmart that's willing to work like a fucking maniac. You get what I'm saying? So unless you just accept, okay, I'm not going to be able to compete with that guy, but I'll accept that I'm down on this level. You can't expect to get paid the same amount as the guy who's willing to put in overtime and stay later and not argue and not, put up a fight about anything. I'm not saying that he's a stand-up guy or anything. I'm just saying that that's out there. The free market is a competitive place.
Yeah, so I am that overtime guy because I have to. So I'm that guy that works the overtime. I'm just saying, yeah, maybe they give you a little more, but they're not gonna I don't know, man. They're not like Walmart isn't gonna be like, oh, you're the best cashier we ever had. We're gonna pay you $30 an hour. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen. But what you do is you go into management.
Yes.
And that's where you start getting money.
Right, but not everyone can be a manager. There's only certain amount.
I'm sorry, I don't want to give you anecdotal stuff, but I'll tell you, like I used to just be a security guard, right?
Yeah.
On the lower level, and I was like, I kind of like it, but I don't like it. I want to do the next level. So what I did is every time our corporate head guy came in, I went up to him. I introduced myself. I said, "Hey, I'm Krishan, blah blah blah. I'm interested in moving up. I'm this and that. Tell me what I need to do that." And within a year, I moved up to the level that I wanted to be at. Most people, and I give people all the time that want to be in my position, I give them the advice. I say, every time that you see corporate or whoever come in, approach them and go at them and tell them what you want, and you'll get it. I promise.
That's
most people.
How I got the level that I am too. Is I started out basically at the very lowest that you could possibly get in at where I work, and now I'm pretty high.
Yeah, I'd say 90.
And just because of that, yeah, they're doing similar things to that. Just saying, hey, there's this position open. I'm not really qualified for it, but give me a shot. I want to take a shot at it.
Yes,
and it's moving up, and they gave me a shot, and I did good. And so the next opportunity that came up, hey, give me a shot. I took it, and now I'm where I'm at. Now I'm at a level, as I said, where I'm at, where I don't have too much responsibility. Like, I'm not a manager. I do not want to be a manager. I do not want that headache. But I make good money. I've been with the company for a while, and I'm in a position that I like.
90% of the people that I give that advice to at my job do not take the advice.
No, because
corporate comes in. Right. Corporate comes in. They get scared. They get meek. They get timid. They don't want to talk. And I'm like, you don't have the balls to be where I'm at. That's your problem. It has nothing to
Exactly.
do with being held back because of your race or because of this and that.
You're holding yourself back, basically. They're
Yes.
they're holding themselves back by thinking that just being there for a long time means they deserve more money.
You know what taught me this too? Was that I saw a dude who was like those, we all have these guys who are just like ass kissers and they're not good at their job, but they get ahead.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, wait a minute, I'm busting my ass anyway. Why not? And it's not ass kissing, it's more just like relating to the manager or to your boss, you know?
It's letting them know who you are. And
Yes.
that goes a long way. I mean, in all human interactions, you're going to prefer the people that you know over the people that you don't know in any kind of decision.
And let me just say this last thing, Nick. I want to give you the floor because I want to hear what you got to say. When I got rid of that like anger, that liberal anger, and I'm not trying to be insulting, I'm being honest with you, where you're like, I fucking hate billionaires, I hate cops, I hate authority, I hate this and that. You'll never have that mentality to go and approach corporate and go talk to them like they're a human being because you automatically hate them. So once I got rid of that anger and I was like, oh, this guy's a manager at this place that I know he didn't dream of doing this when he was a kid. He hates being here just like everybody else. Let me just relate to him a little bit. So I'm just saying that's my advice to liberals out there. It's not even get rid of your liberalism. It's get rid of your fucking anger. It doesn't amount to anything.
Yeah, I'll just tell you that the last part what I say is my, if you're going to call it a shortcoming, I can't fucking chuckle with the fucking bosses. I can't laugh at their fucking jokes. I can't kiss. I can't fucking do it. I fucking just can't do it. So I'm never going to be one of those. And I'm not saying that's what you have to do at your job. I can tell you at the company I work at, that's what you have to fucking do. And there's just no fucking way.
Yeah, it's pride, Nick.
Yeah, well,
it's pride, man. I feel like my thing. Let me give you, just because I came from the same thing. I did it more from like a sarcastic standpoint, where like I'm more of a dark humor kind of guy. So when I hear corporate humor, it makes me fucking sick.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So when I might laugh at it, but I'm doing like a sarcastic laugh so that people in the room that also know that this is bullshit know what I'm doing. So it's almost like you relate to people by being sarcastic in a way. You realize how real even your manager and your boss might be. I get along very well with my boss.
Oh, my first boss, she's the only one who I get like, she's the only one in the company I've seen who's just like a grunt, a fucking worker that actually like got to some level of management.
Yeah.
You know, she's been there forever, but she's the one that everyone else there. Oh, that's so funny, Jim. No, it's not. Go fuck yourself. You know.
Yeah, I've never actually enjoyed doing that either. But the company I work for kind of doesn't have that sort of culture. So it's mostly, hey, let's go out for drinks.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's where I kind of like fell into security because it's the same thing. It's more realistic. It's more like real life. So I get you. Maybe it could be your environment that you're in. Maybe you're just in the wrong business, Nick.
Well, I was gonna say part of my problem is I actually like my job and the people I work with, so I get a little complacent in the I mean, I'm sure you guys have. I've had jobs where I fucking dreaded going to work, and it's like it's not like that at this place. So it's like, all right, fuck it,
Yeah, there is also some.
Good, so.
There's also something to be said about enjoying a job that you actually enjoy going to as well.
Absolutely. That's like,
I mean, as I said, I make pretty decent money. I could be making more doing my same job at somewhere else, but I don't want to go do that because I like my job and where I'm at.
Dude, loving your job, like, just it changes your fucking life. It really does. Yeah. So
it's like, we've all worked for money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fun.
All right, before we
work to survive, I should say.
Wrap it up, I just want to ask, what are your feelings on the parade on Saturday? For it, against it? Don't give a fuck either way.
Oh yeah, the scheduled riots. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Dude, there's no scheduled riots. Like, all right,
Yeah,
do you
that's
guys
on
actually
Saturday.
think?
Wait,
you think
what parade, Nick?
Soros pays people and hands out fucking bricks?
Oh, Trump's
Yes.
parade. Oh,
Oh
Yes,
Trump's
he
my
parade.
does.
Okay.
God, dude.
He
That's what
does.
you're
It's
talking about.
literally
Why?
on record.
Why would he do that? Tell me,
Because
why would this billionaire do this?
because he's a socialist
A
who believes
billionaire
it.
socialist.
Yes.
Well,
Wait.
see-
Bernie Sanders is a multi-millionaire.
see,
Barely,
here's
Like
the
what?
thing about
Like
the
socialists
parade.
aren't all poor.
when Bernie ran for president the first time, there was 20 people running between the two parties, and he was one of 3 that wasn't a millionaire, and he'd been there forever. Yes, now he's worth like whatever 1 or 2 million because of the fucking books or whatever. But
The books.
you don't become a fucking billionaire. Fucking billionaires only care about money and power, dude. That's all they care about. They're not gonna wait. They don't care about fucking Pride Month or fucking. They don't care about any of that shit.
Yes, but they
look at-
care
look at
about
Target. They sell
using the
Pride
public.
shirts, and then the second they get backlash, they take the Pride shirts away. Bud Light fucking sponsored a fucking trans person no one fucking heard of besides Kid Rock, and then all of a sudden they fucking, well, we're real American beer now. Like, they don't care. They don't believe in that shit. They just believe in money.
Well, yeah, they proved that after they like told us that we were all evil for not believing in pride, and now they're pulling back.
Dude,
So
but
now they're yes, exactly. That's what we've been saying the whole time.
But I've known that the whole time, dude. They don't believe in any of that shit.
yeah,
just
but
like-
then why was the left celebrating all of it then?
I'm talking
I'm
about
not saying you. Maybe you didn't celebrate it.
No, I'm
I don't
talking
know.
about the fucking billionaires and the corporations don't give a fuck.
I know. That's what we've been trying to tell you guys the whole time.
No, I've been saying no. You think George Soros cares about migrants for some fucking reason? He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he plays you guys like pawns.
I don't even.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I wouldn't even know who George Soros was if it wasn't for the right wing. Like,
exactly. You should thank us.
Just like I wouldn't know who fucking Dylan Mulvaney was. I don't know what you guys watch, but
yeah, the woman that crashed a fucking like American stable with just having her face printed on a beer can.
Yeah, why people?
Why are you pretending like that's not a big deal though? Like that,
it's not a big deal. Why
it caused a great American company to pretty much fold?
Because pussies on the right wing apparently don't believe in fucking capitalism or don't believe in fucking whatever.
That is pure capitalism.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy your beer because I don't like.
I'm not gonna buy your beer. I love the taste of your beer, but I'm not gonna buy it because you made a novelty can for one person. What a bunch of pussies!
If Coca-Cola tomorrow told me that I'm evil for not for supporting Trump, I probably wouldn't buy their stuff.
Dude,
I don't buy Coca-Cola anyway. But
I'm a liberal. I have Chick-fil-A sauce in my fucking fridge because it's delicious. I'm not. I know no company gives a fuck, so I'm not gonna fucking not buy what I like.
Yes, that's the thing though. That's because liberals don't have any like real conviction.
That's why boycotts generally don't work.
I don't believe them. I think they're stupid, to be honest.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
But then
like
again, if you don't want to buy something, then don't buy it. I mean, I've been boycotting Bud Light for like decades before anybody.
Yeah.
I never drink this stuff.
Yeah, Bud Light's awful.
It was easy for me to boycott that.
Yeah, it was real easy. I just could continue doing what I was doing. Anyway, the parade, the military parade, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I would like to point out, do you know how long it takes to organize something like that and plan it out?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, like 2 years that was been planned for that day. It had nothing to do with Trump. It just so happens it lands on his birthday.
Dude,
but
so Biden was planning a military parade.
Yes.
Can you show me?
Well, probably not Biden. Biden couldn't. Yeah.
Biden couldn't plan his breakfast.
Who's changing his diaper that day? But yeah, it was started planning under Biden. It's the 250th anniversary of the Army.
It should have been slashed by Doge. We don't have money for this.
Maybe not. It probably.
I think we can cut a few transgender surgeries in Peru to have this. I'm fine with that.
You guys live in what are you talking about?
Did you not see
one
that?
of the
Doge?
programs that was cut by Doge was giving money for transgender.
Was this a
surgeries
real
in
one or one of the
Peru.
1,000
Yes.
fake ones that Elon made up?
No. That was a
Okay,
real one.
explain how they were fake.
So number one, he put up this board where they could keep track. Now, obviously, the people that kept track were like, he didn't show numbers for half of it, and then there was one where it's like, this isn't the exact number, but let's say it's supposed to be 2.5 million. He put like 25 million or 25 billion or whatever the fuck. They don't. Oh, sorry, we put the comma in the wrong place.
Explain how it was actually 2.5 billion and not 25.
And then there was the trans fucking.
No, explain it. You're
Let me
moving on.
Explain it.
You're just saying things. You're not making any arguments.
I'm
You're
saying that
things
they got
you
caught
heard.
fudging the numbers and then had to fix them.
Did he get caught fudging the numbers, or was it just a mistake?
Well, if
And
he's
they
making
fixed
that
it,
many
and it got-
mistakes,
and
he
it got
probably
fixed
shouldn't
anyway.
be in charge of the whole thing. It's funny.
Oh, you're talking about like
never
a decimal point in the wrong place kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
okay. Yeah.
It's funny they never went the other way. He never shorted himself. It was always exaggerated.
Well, do you think we should be paying for 2.5 million in transgender surgeries in Peru? Like, what? No matter the number, do you think we should be funding that? Let's say
Nope.
it's $10,000.
Let's say it's $10.
I couldn't care less. Either.
So then
that's
you shouldn't
your money.
shouldn't care if we cut it then.
Honest to God, either
Right.
way, I couldn't care.
Okay.
Like, because it's not coming back to us. It's not. It's whatever these cuts are. They're not coming back to us. There was also, yeah, I remember that transgender mouse thing that Trump, that was something else. Remember that one?
Transgenic.
Like, yeah, that's right. And he thought it was transgender. So
Yeah.
I
A
think
lot
if
of people
anybody's
do.
gonna
Nobody
bring money.
knows what transgenic is until that. Nobody knew what transgenic was until that came out.
What the fuck is transgenic? I've never even heard that.
It's modifying mouse genetics to
be more like
to-
human, right?
to
Something
express certain
experiments,
traits
yeah.
for medical testing.
Is it like when they grew like a human ear on a mouse? That
I
kind
think
of
it was.
it's more
So they would
splicing their DNA.
respond like a. I think so they could test shit on them, so they would respond more like a human would respond.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, okay, for medical testing.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
Right.
I got you.
But as I said, nobody knew what that was until Trump. You have all these people like, "Oh, Trump's so stupid." It's like, motherfucker, you didn't know what it meant until you just looked it up.
So I'll throw Ava. Like I said, all this shit just gets thrown out there, and it's like and then it always gets like shot down, or there's never any fucking proof of it.
Yeah, but that's not an argument. Elon said he found it. Tell me how he
I
didn't
don't believe.
find it.
All right, if Zuckerberg said he found, suppose Soros found it, would you believe him?
No, because
No?
Trump didn't appoint
Right.
him.
Because none of these fucking guys, fucking Elon went in there just to fucking cut regulations and fucking so he could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and Trump could do it. They're not in there to fucking. They're in there for themselves, man. They're not in there to fucking balance the budget. Like from day one, I said
mean,
they
it's
will.
a lot of conjecture that you're saying. I mean, because I could say, for instance, Elon took a huge hit on his own private companies to continue working for Doge.
Lost 23% of his wealth.
Yeah, so did Trump. Trump is the only. Trump is the only.
no,
Hold on.
no,
Trump
no.
is the only president in history, or I guess modern history, to actually lose money as a president.
Dude, no.
So explain how he's like doing this for money.
He's not. Elon may have fucked himself out of money because of his fucking ego and fucking incompetence. Sure, it wasn't intentional. Trump is
so why
making.
why would he continue?
Because he's fucking a narcissist, dude. He's fucked in the head.
And wouldn't that mean he would stop working for Doge because people hated him? If he's a narcissist, he wants people to love him, right?
He wants to be the fucking king of the world, dude. No, he wants to get in there. This is the dude that wants microchips in everyone's fucking brain. He wants all our information. He's fucking hacking into the fucking treasury. Fucking
I'm not an
regulations.
Elon guy. I'm just saying, like, what you're like logically what you're saying doesn't make sense based on what we're seeing.
What are you seeing? You're telling me that Trump's I just want to get back to the Trump thing. Trump is making money hand over fist as fucking president. He's violating the monuments clause of the fucking Constitution. Fucking selling fucking Bitcoin, selling fucking Trump watches. What are you talking about, dude?
How much money has he made from that?
people staying at his fucking every weekend when you go, fucking people staying at a fucking Mar-a-Lago, people staying at his properties
Well, that's his company that he had before president.
that he's
being
supposed to
president.
give up when he's president. Like Jimmy Carter gave up his
He
peanut
did.
farm.
His son runs the company.
Yeah,
Right
his
now.
Oh, my
family
God.
runs it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Don Jr. runs a company. There's no, he doesn't. That's just like, oh, look, Don's running the company. You're supposed to fucking give it up.
You're basing everything off of conjecture. We're giving you
Not
like actually
conjecture,
what's
dude.
happening. It's all conjecture.
How is that conjecture? He's not selling. He didn't sell Bitcoin. He didn't.
You're telling
sell
me right now,
NFTs?
Don Jr. isn't in charge of the companies. Trump's
Don Jr. is
companies.
on Twitter more than fucking Elon. What the number one? I don't even remember them saying it the second time around.
Can you run a company and still be on Twitter?
He said it the first time around. I don't remember him saying that fucking Don Jr. was running shit the second time around.
Yeah, it's because he never took back control of his companies from his kids. He left it in their control.
Yeah, he basically campaigned all the way through Biden's presidency.
Yeah.
And you think he has no say in what's going on in his companies right now?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
He's probably
naive.
giving advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said he lost money. He has not lost money. He's made fucking billions as fucking president, being president.
He might have still made money, but he lost he lost his net value. I think he lost, what was it, like $1 billion or something like that?
But the fucked up part is we don't even know what this fucking guy's worth because he just like throws out fucking crazy numbers. I remember him claiming he was worth 10 billion at one point, and 5 billion was because of his name. It wasn't like an asset. I know his name is an asset. Like he sells his name to fucking all sorts of shit, but he was just generalizing, So I don't even know what the fuck the guy is worth, but he's definitely profiting off this fucking president.
So then how do you know that he actually made money if you don't know what he's worth?
How is he not making money, dude? Selling all this shit he wasn't
No,
selling
you're
before
claiming
he was
that you're claiming that he hasn't lost money. You're claiming that he's made money.
Yeah, I'm saying we don't know the exact value he's worth because he fucking just throws fucking figures out there.
He's lost about $1.4 billion since becoming president.
That's not true, dude. There's no fucking way he lost one.
You just don't believe it. That's your problem. It's like,
yeah, dude, because you don't fucking sell all this shit.
That's according to Bloomberg, Forbes, and CNN.
You think Trump is really
Clinton
making
News Network? Now we believe CNN. This is what I mean.
I said Bloomberg and Forbes. I said CNN also. I tucked CNN on there for your
Nick. Do you think Trump is really making billions of dollars off of MAGA hats and fucking bobbleheads?
No, I didn't even bring up the MAGA hats.
You're saying that he's making money hand over fist from selling all his commemorative stuff. Like that's literally the only thing you're saying. He's making billions. He's actually using that money to fund his campaigns, from what I know.
No. Haktua girl became a millionaire off of crypto. You don't think Trump fucking made fucking good money?
Oh, I'm sure off of crypto. That's not the argument. Trump is a good businessman. That's never been an argument.
Yeah, he ripped off his followers. Yeah, buy this fucking worthless coin with my name on it.
How is that ripping off followers?
Obviously, you don't care about them, man. If you buy, like, everyone knows that shit isn't fucking worth anything.
No merchandise is worth anything. You buy it because you're a fucking fan.
I thought crypto was supposed to take over as the fucking new currency because it's not, with bets. Like, was that the whole point?
Well, I don't believe in crypto. I'll be honest.
All right, good.
I think
we're all thank God.
It's all just backed by real money. It's just a money scheme, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like the last person holding
a good amount of money off of it.
Hey, I've made some money. Why not?
Sorry. I'm looking up Trump's value. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I step away for like 2 seconds, guys?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I say it's probably getting about time to wrap it up, but no, I just looked up the Forbes actually reported from 4.5 billion in 2015 to 3.1 billion in 2020. Went down. He was at January 6th. I don't know. I'm seeing Forbes actually reporting losses. Oh, March 2025 went up to 7.8 billion.
Yeah, I got Forbes, March 31st, 2025.
They
America's
reported
47% is more than doubled his estimated fortune from 2.3 billion to 5.1 billion, and now he's up to 7 something. Yeah, he's making money hand over fist.
Oh, it's True Social stock performance, which I find odd.
Oh,
Truth
True Social.
Truth
What?
Social's True Social's got stock performance. That's what blows me away more than anything.
I mean, you can't deny Trump. Trump has, whether you like it or not, Trump has a lot of support from, and he has a huge fan base. Like even before he was president.
Well,
Yeah, he's got some hard, I'm not, yeah, dude. I think the one thing he had in common with him and Bernie is they had the passionate base. You know, he definitely does. I'm not, obviously a little too passionate, I think, where they think the guy can't do anything wrong, where, you know, all of a sudden he's acting like king, and that's fine, you know. I mean,
I do have a little bit of problem with that, with the usual scumbags on the right on X who are, you know, went especially during the Musk Trump split up, they're saying we gotta support Trump, and it's like, motherfucker, I gotta support nobody. It's like, no, I was like, from what I knew at the time about the big beautiful bill, I was like 100% with Musk. I mean, I still am.
Well,
but,
I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Liquid. Finish.
No, I was just, I don't know. I forgot. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just from a right wing standpoint, I know what you're saying. However, I do think that they're more talking when they're saying we got to support Trump. They're talking to like guys like me. You know what I mean? Like where it's like
more like hard line, you know, right wingers. I'm not.
Right. And I'm more of a, like, I just consider myself a conservative. I don't necessarily think I'm a right winger. I don't even know what the fuck that means these days. Like, for instance, I firmly disagree with this, like the Nick Fuentes Groyper movement.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that's cringe.
Yeah. Like I go on a lot of right wing shows and argue against that. And, you know, I typically find it to be hypocritical because they're making the same arguments that a lot of like BLM activists were making, but they're doing it for white people now. And I'm like, and then they'll call themselves based. And I'm like, how are you based when you're literally moving the goalpost now? So I just think based
America First has been pretty cringe for a number of years now. It's lost a lot of popularity. And, you know, Nick just needs to, we all know he's gay. He just needs to come out. You know, there's no problem with it.
I used to think there's
no issue.
I used to think that was a thing, like that liberals were just making fun of him. But the more I listen to him, I'm like, I think he is gay. He just did a whole rant about how he doesn't want to be married, and he like cringes at the thought of like having a wife. And I'm like, dude, just say you're gay then. It's fine.
No, we on the right who who saw the downfall. I watched back a while ago. I mean, back when he was like 19, it was like 6-7 years ago. I first ran into Nick Fuentes, and he was like one of these kids where I was like, oh, this guy's got a future. He's going somewhere in politics, you know. But you know, let's see what happens after he turns 21 and he discovers, you know, beer and pussy. And
he never did.
And he never did. And he's like 25, 26 now, and it's just gone just way downhill.
It's getting to that weird place of like, all right, bro, you need to start fucking buckling down here. Get some prospects in your life.
Yeah. I sorry, I was just gonna say, I think people generalize the left and the right too much. Like, there's different, like the Bernie section is not the same as the Pelosi section. You know, it's totally different groups. And then there's the fucking, I don't even know what you want to call them. I guess the far left, where all they care about is the, you know, the hot topic fucking issues that don't fucking, you know, the woke people, I guess. And then the right wing has their own version of the fucking woke, and it's so spread out now, man. You just, like I said, you can't just generalize, you know, what the left and what the right. I don't know what it means anymore.
That's a big problem. And I found myself running into this at one point, and I had to realized my mistake is that nobody's a monolith. There's no straw man here.
Yeah.
The straw man is not working for anybody that you think it is, and I've ran face first into that years ago, and that's where I realized, oh wait, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own ideas. The straw manning is not accurate.
I got to admit, I just had one recently. I started getting into a debate with Ava, who you guys know.
Oh yeah.
And we were getting into the debate on trans issues, and she's like totally like not with what I thought it was gonna be. You know what I mean? So I was pleasantly surprised. Like, we agreed on a lot of stuff. We actually got more heated about Trump than we did the trans issues.
Abba's very based in reality.
Yes, and I respect that a lot. So and you don't find that a lot, at least from what I see, and that opened my eyes to like, oh, not everybody on that side is that far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with the trans issue, that's mostly just an online thing. I work with a couple of trans people, and they're really kind of the same as Ava. It's just regular people doing regular things,
Yeah, that's what you see in most life.
They legitimately don't give a shit if you misgender them or whatever. They really couldn't care less.
Yeah. That's what I appreciate.
All this bullshit's all online.
That's my whole thing, is I always argue just for the margin of error. Like, just in case I do accidentally, like, I don't care, to be honest, about the misgendering thing. I'm a right winger. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I'm trying to respect somebody just in the course of an argument or a debate or whatever, or conversation, just get on with my day. It's like, just give me where, like, if I do that, I don't lose my job and I don't, get in trouble. Like, just where I can go, oh, my bad, and we move on with our days.
Yeah. From the trans people I talk to, it's more I think, and some aren't bothered at all, but the ones that are bothered by the misgendering, it's when it's done on purpose just to be a dick. If it's done on accident, they don't care. It's everyone makes mistakes or whatever. Or you don't know what everyone wants to be called. Like, I've seen that trans, I think it's a trans influencer I've seen on X, where she goes to restaurants and tapes
I've seen
it.
that one.
Yeah. And every time she's misgendered, she wants to be misgendered so she can make a frowny face and make content. You know what I mean? It's
right.
like,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Like, you're not helping the cause. You're hurting your own community, doing that fucking stupid shit.
Making them look stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then people they think that's what all trans people are. Too many groups that the influencers are just the fucking worst for like every group pretty much. And then that's what people think that group fucking is, no matter what the group is. And it sucks.
Now, I will say this, just a little pushback. I do think misgendering for like humor's sake is still funny.
Ava has a great sense of humor about that. Like, Vince the lawyer does it all the time, and she fucking thinks it's hysterical.
I ran a little test. I jumped into Jake's stream the other day, and Ava was on, and I jumped on, and I just go, "Hey, fellas."
Yeah.
And Ava laughed, and I was like, "Oh shit! All right, cool. We're good.
Yeah, I wish you can. We could have a little. I don't know. Maybe next time we'll have a little 2-on-2 if you guys are available.
Well,
yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Well, Ava was in the
yeah,
chat,
I just saw in the chat. Yeah, I sent her though. I think I sent her the link. Unless I didn't fucking hit send. That would have sucked.
Jesus, what are you, transphobic?
Yes, very.
Oh shit,
Knew
dude!
it,
Oh my god, dude! It's literally been sitting in my fucking thing the whole time. I literally sent it.
Request.
Yeah,
I'm an ally now.
I know, wild, huh?
Who would have guessed?
All right.
Anyway,
Well,
I think
we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, we're starting to just run all over the place now. But
yeah. All right.
But
hey,
I'll
guys,
be watching the news on Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for coming on. It was great.
Plug the nation again, my friend. Your show.
Oh, at the Misfit Nation on Twitter, sorry, X, Rumble. That's where we're moving officially on June 20th. So that will be our official first show. You can also follow us on Podbean, misfitnation.podbean.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just type in Misfit Nation, you'll find us.
Sounds good. Liquid, you want to plug your new thing?
Yeah, I got a new thing I'm doing. I call it Stream Snipe Graffiti. I've made a way to automate stream sniping certain creators, and you can go over to my channel on kick.com/liquid_cryptid, and whenever they go live, my bot will go live, and you can use AI voices for free. I've already got Kevin Brennan. I got several voices in there now. Some you know, some you don't. There's Ricada, there's Kevin Brennan. Right now I'm waiting for Chad Zumach and Tukey to get verified or to get set up. And I'll probably have all of our favorite Dabbleverse personalities 100% free. Go over there. You can do your AI chat botting all you like.
Nice, buddy. It's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Awesome.
All right. And,
Yeah, I actually saw somebody doing that for the Sector or for Ethan Ralph's show a couple years ago, but he did it all manually. So he actually had to be at his computer or remote in to start the stream. I created a Chrome extension that does it all automatically and goes to finds the stream if it goes live, goes to it, switches to it, and turns on OBS.
Liquid is like Basil.
I told him it's unintentional, but I think we have the great symbolic look of, he's the right winger with the, like, and I'm like the communist in the fucking with the fan over my head in a fucking hoodie, and he's got the fucking tech fucking genius shit over, like the capitalistic fucking look on his side. So
like two hackers.
Yeah.
Liquid, I bet you, like, I would never fuck with Liquid. I bet you have like a pen that can murder you. Like it could shoot a dart into my throat or something.
I do not.
Don't dox yourself.
I haven't. I saw one and I thought it was pretty cool, but it seemed wildly impractical
and a little inappropriate.
Now, I do have a friend that does have a tactical pin.
That's fucking awesome.
I don't know if you've seen a tactical pin. They're pretty wild.
I'm gonna look that up as soon as we sign off.
Yeah, it's a pin that's basically got weapons on it.
That's awesome.
One of the first things Liquid ever said to me was, if I really wanted to know who you are and where you live, I could figure it out in like a few minutes, but I don't really care.
That's ominous.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Well, no, it's because his information is out there. It has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything. I don't have any kind of special knowledge that allows me to break into the Social Security office and grab all of Nick's personal information. I just know it's out there. So.
He's like, but I do have the blueprints to your house.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, I picked that up right away. That was the first thing I did. No,
that's public knowledge.
It is public knowledge. It is public record. Yes.
Wow. We got a viewer from Australia. That's a fucking far reach for us. How's it going, Mister?
Hello, mate.
Yeah. All right, I'll end this. I'm OG Mumbling Nick. Everything I got's OG Mumbling Nick. Do this show Sundays usually with Mr. Liquid Cryptid. I do a show Saturday afternoon at 3:30 on Echo Pineapple's channel. And every once in a while, I just go by myself at like 2 a.m. and do something weird. And of course, we're all on Jake Hudson's pretty regularly.
Oh yeah, you could also find us all on Jake Hudson on occasion.
Pretty much every day.
Yeah.
All of us. We plug in at some point.
Yeah. Today he had nobody, and I felt bad as one of those, like, it's Chris came on thankfully after me, but I was literally waiting for an Uber that was 10 minutes away. I'm like, Jake, I can come on for like 10 minutes. So I did while I was waiting for the fucking ride.
Can I say one last political take?
Yep,
absolutely.
Nick, I love talking to you. I've talked to you a few times before. My new goal in life is to move you away from the Bernie Sanders camp. And I say that with love. I'm not being insulting.
I will say this. Even though Bernie, I would say, was my favorite politician. I'm not like some whether you like Trump or not, you know, some MAGA people are like obsessed with him. Like I criticize Bernie. He does things I don't like.
Mhm.
So I just kind of say I'm a Bernie. That's just the easiest way to kind of generalize, you know,
I
my
get you.
beliefs. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I do the same thing with Trump. I criticized him before too. I know I defended him a lot tonight.
Yeah,
but and here's the thing too. Out of all the Democrats, I like Bernie's passion and his fight more than anybody. I actually, even though I think everything, like I don't believe in his worldview, I believe he believes it. Like he's really in that fight.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that about Bernie, and I always wanted to, like, I wish he could be on our side. He's one of those guys. So
we've had this exact same discussion. I've had the same thing with Nick, where I don't agree with his policy, but I really, he's the kind of guy that's actually gone out and done it. You know, he's been at the civil rights marches. He's gone out and he's been there on the front lines, which not a lot of politicians can say, and I have a lot of respect for him for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
Now I don't like his policies.
Oh, come on.
Politics.
Viva
But
Bernie.
you got to respect the man. And
out of the Democrats, yeah, he's the only one that actually has done the thing that they all pretend to be.
Yeah, he's real. You may not like his policies, but he's real. You know, he's done the
thing.
Yeah, he's an advocate who became a fucking politician. You know,
he was the last Democrat I supported.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll sum it up. Thanks everyone that tuned in. Appreciate you. Hopefully see you Sunday at 9 p.m. Thanks everybody.
Have a good night.
Much love, guys.
And unlike our buddy, you guys can just leave. Peace, everyone.
Stay after class.
Come on, you fucking thing.
Cryptid, wanna keep my mumbling, baby. Finally left, here leads right. Hands up now, hands down. Tell me what you're voting now. It's in now, Democrats out. Hands up now, hands down. Wall up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You might also like political stuff, Dabbleverse stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that dabble politics mix. So where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna touch now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it on every week Saturday night, and it's YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get fame up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit. The asking for shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your flags up.